tractors. And then we got to the puppy who lost his way, right? In the Industrial Revolution, right? Hannah knows all about the puppy who lost his way, right?
Mm-hmm. I do.
That was a revolution. All right. May God have mercy on your soul. All right. I need to memorize that part. So if you look at our, 7.8 billion people, that it is like there's some specific parts, right, where they are. It's kind of interesting when you look at Canada, okay, and then you look in this whole entire region longitudinally. One thing that's interesting about some of these places that are less dense is because there's a lot of forest there, right, and a lot of wild land. I don't know. It's interesting to think about where people live. Especially in the United States, where people live, coastal areas, places where there's water, right? Think of LA, think of Miami, think of New York, think of Chicago, all those big places, right? The access to water. And even in North Manchester, why did they settle North Manchester as a town? Well, water was a key factor there because it was used for transportation and also access to water and food. So we'll get into a little bit that later. Ooh, I jumped the gun there. The coastal waterways is pretty important. About 9% of people live on 10% of the surface area. I used to sing, it was kind of silly, but you take an apple and you cut the apple into fourths, and then you put those 1/4, you keep 1/4 right off here, and then you put like 3/4 over here, and 3/4 represent the oceans. Okay, we can kind of live there, but not really. Okay, so then you take the apple and then you shave off the skin of the apple. Okay, and then you cut up like all these little pieces. You end up with this little square, basically, of like, good livable land, right? Because there's places on Earth that are land that we can't live. Nobody's living on the top of Everest, right? It'd be pretty awesome, but not possible, right? So China and the United States have about the same land area, but China has a much denser population. And then when you get into that in pre-calc, you'll talk about, India and China and that whole idea. They're almost both 2 billion people, but of course, India much more dense because it's a lot smaller. Okay, so I want to watch a video here in just a quick second. But so how much space for one human? Okay, here's some good math for you. If you take pi times 3.05 meters and you square that, you get the area, okay, of 0.292 meters squared. Okay, so if we're saying there's 7 billion people on Earth, right? How much would that happen? Like if we lined up people, side by side, would we be able to, have a lot of space? Okay, and so we're about like 200 kilometers square. So how big is that? New York is 1,500. Seattle's 500 kilometers square. Okay, so let's see if you recognize this lady. Yeah, not that one. Yeah.
Just theoretically.
Yeah.
If somehow like Asia or like China and India's population were to just like completely go away.
Yeah.
We would like cut our population in half.
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, so that's like almost 4 billion people, right? So yeah, there we go. Isn't that crazy to think about? All right, so do you recognize his name? I found this and I love it. Yeah, who is she?
19 kids and counting.
Yeah, 19 kids and counting. So here's it. We're not gonna watch this whole interview, but I love that she said this. Okay, so she's the one that has 19 kids, right? And she had didn't she end up having like a couple miscarriages, right?
Always wanted to ask the Duggars, what kind of environmental impact is this super large family having the world. The question of overpopulation might be a controversial subject, but there are a lot of people out there who find the amount of children they have to be too many and more than the average of 2 kids per family.
Oh, wow, wow. Well, first off, the idea of overpopulation is not accurate because really the entire population of the world, if they were stood shoulder to shoulder, could fit in the city limits of Jacksonville. So if you
True or false? Pretty close to being true.
realize that aspect of it, we realize we're not anywhere near being overpopulated. But one of the good things that our family does, I think that's really beneficial, is that our motto is we buy used and we save the difference. And so we are being very resourceful for the things that most people would discard.
Sorry, that lady. Sorry, it's making me laugh.
We go to the thrift stores and we reuse them. Boy, we get lots of use out of them. And we always buy used cars. So we're not, we are buying the things that most people would just not be using. And so we try to be resourceful in that way. And I think teaching our children to be helpers and servers, givers instead of takers. And I think this whole idea about, life in general, I've heard someone say, the statement, well, too many kids. And I'm going, I agree with Mother Teresa when she says, to say that there are too many children is like saying there are too many flowers. I mean, that's the.
Sorry. Okay, so, okay. I love it when people put random quotes to like justify their existence. But, okay, so we could fit these people in these city limits, right? Okay, I could fit the people in New York City. I could fit them in Seattle. Seattle's pretty big, right? We could get them into Jacksonville, right? But what kind of life is that, right? You want to live shoulder to shoulder, right? You want to, what's that? Yeah, it'd be like a zoo, man. It'd totally be like a zoo. Okay, so but in some ways we are somewhat in a zoo. Okay, because when you look at it, our population density is kind of like in these little places. We're just not all 7.8 billion in one spot. But even China is much bigger than this. But look at where it's concentrated, right? Around some of those water areas. All right. So this graph always confused me. I actually talked to the author of the book about this because I was like, I don't know if I like it, but I get it. Okay, so it's this idea, and even Michelle Duggart said the same thing. Like, are we going to, should we limit the amount of kids, or is too many kids like too many flowers? But we gotta feed those people, right? And feeding a flower is a lot easier than feeding, a baby, because the flower doesn't go anywhere, it stays there and it doesn't cry and whatnot, right? So we're getting this J curve, right? So there's this idea that like, will population finally hit a point, okay, where we don't have enough food, okay, or is it going to be that we'll always have enough food because technology will save us? Is technology going to save us in the end, right? So do we have a carrying capacity? Some people say we've gone above that. Some people say to live a good, healthy life on this planet, okay, that we should have around 6 billion people. Remember we did our Earth footprint thing? And it was like, most of you had like 5 Earths, if everybody lived your lifestyle, right, that gets kind of crazy. Okay, so let's talk about doubling time for a quick second. And if you're in pre-calc or I think also AP Calc, you'll talk about doubling time. And this is the easiest stinking thing. And I promise you it will be on the AP exam. There's never been an AP exam where you haven't had to calculate doubling time. Okay, are you ready for this? This is how easy it is. It's doubling time is just 70 divided by the percent growth. Okay, now here's where the math teachers, they don't get mad at me, but this is where people like mess it up. This is the only time probably in your life where you will never change the percent to a decimal. Okay. All right. So when we're looking at doubling time, okay, we're just going to take 70. Okay. And it's always 70 on top divided by the rate. Okay. So in this case, let's say our growth rate is 10%. 70 divided by 10 is 7. Well, what's that 7 mean? 7 what? Years, right? So 7 years. If we have a 10% growth rate, then globally, right, this would be insane, right? Because we in 10 years would be almost 16 billion, right? That's insane. Thank God we don't have a doubling time of 10%, right? Okay, that's nuts, right? This is chapter 7. Okay, so please know this. You'll have to calculate on this, but still people want to always convert this percent, okay, to decimal. Okay, do not convert that. Now, if you're in pre-calc, they'll tell you how to like prove this. I just accept it. Thanks, math. Yeah, you know, like some people love this, you know, like, oh, I want to figure out how they got this equation. I don't care. I just like it's easy. I love it. Okay, so doubling time is just that 70 is always on top divided by your growth rate, that percent. Okay, so here's an example. Finance rule 72 says if I invested $100 at 9% interest per year, then I can divide 72 by 9. That tells me that 8 years I'll have $200. Okay, that kind of thing right there. Okay, but doubling time is the number of years it will take a population to double. Okay, we don't want that. We want that number to be incredibly low. Okay, so that's a question on your homework. Everybody good on that? Everybody understand that? You guys good on that at home? Okay, fantastic. All right, so here's another example. Okay, if we have a rate instead of 10%, let's say it's 1.3, which is what it is now. Okay, it's going to be up 55 years. Okay, so if we continue as we're doing, then 55 years will be good to go. Somebody's zipping up something there. Okay, so doubling time is just the number of years it will take to double the population. Okay, so the faster the growth rate, the higher that number, the more quickly a population will double. Okay, so we know that in our experience that those countries with lots of kids on the bottom, they have those higher growth rates. Okay, we have typically lower growth rates. All right, we'll get to this later. I'm gonna jump ahead to this thing right here, and then we'll do a quick little activity. All right, so I love these things. If you took Human Geo, you talked about this, right? And I just saw a kid in Human Geo this year walking down the hallway with a poster board with a bunch of these on there. Okay, all right, and so this will tell me like if we've got a stable population, a growing population, or a declining population. Okay, this India is growing because we have this pyramid. Why is the pyramid important? We're looking at this region right here. If this is big, then that means it's growing. This is small compared to this, that means it's declining. Why is this bottom part more important than all the other stuff? Yeah, these are the people that are going to be having babies soon, right? Okay, so if you have a lot of kids, you're going to be a growing population. Germany, not a lot of kids, right? Their population's old. Look at all these old people, okay? China, it's kind of weird. We still got a bunch of kids, but now it kind of shifted, right? United States is fairly stable. Okay, we got the baby boomers right here. Okay, so if it looks more like a house, it's stable. If it looks like a pyramid, it's increasing. If it looks more inverted like this, then it's a, what's that? Like a tree, yeah, bush. Okay, then it's going to be declining. All right, open up your Chromebooks and go to the thing that says for Friday. And if you kids online could do this at home, that'd be great as well. But if not, that's cool. But go to this thing that says population pyramids, click on it and open this up. I found this last year and I about lost my mind because I thought it was the coolest thing ever. All right. So why I like this is this kind of shows that, like, you know, things are still, this still looks kind of like a pyramid. Almost looks more like a house, but kind of like a pyramid, right? Okay, but let's go to in and click in and then click Niger, because we've been talking a lot about Niger. Remember, 7.3 kids per woman. They have the 51% of their population is junior high age or less. What's theirs going to look like? Boom. Theirs is going to look more like that crazy pyramid, right? Look at that. Look at the number of kids. And if you click on these things, it'll tell you that there's one male in 2019 and 3 females that were over 100. Okay. Right. So there's some old people, but on average, okay, you know, not much. Most of them, like right here, 2 million, 2.4 million, like 5 to 9ers. Or look at this one though. Oh no, that's like, sorry, that's the 0 to 4. So 0 to 4, there's 2.3 million boys, 2.3 million girls, babies. That's insane. Okay. All right. Now, just for fun, I'm going to give you a letter. Okay. So Justice, you are letter A. Emily, you're letter B. Jacob, you're letter C. You're D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q. Okay. Go to your letter. Okay. So we end it with Q. So I'll be R. So I go to R. You just pick whatever you want. If you want to look at all of them, you can. Okay. But I'm going to start securely. Look at Russian Federation. That's wacky, right? Okay. Romania. Okay. And I'm going to open up securely, not because I'm trying to catch you cheating. Okay. But we're just going to look at everybody's things. Securely. I forget even how to do this.
So I have J.
Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so you just click on a J country.
Oh, okay.
You all with me on this?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna put everybody's screen up on the board and we're gonna look at all these together. You only have one? What's that? You don't? Oh? Wait, there's Oman. Yeah, there's a bunch on there. Oh, you're like, yeah, I was like, I've done this before. Nobody's ever said like, oh, I got no countries. Oman, do Oman, because Oman's weird. Yeah, do you see what Oman? Did you look at Oman? It's real weird. Okay. Yeah, what happened to Oman?
Girls?
They don't kill them all. Like, well, hold on a second. You know where Oman is?
Yeah.
Okay. So why do you think Oman is the way it is? It's the Middle East, right? Okay.
Women and children.
I mean, it's kind of like men are like it's like yeah, the kings over there. Okay, hold on a second. All right, so I'm going to start this and then I'll end it here in a second. And I don't think this will happen for you guys at home, so you just have to look. So this is one of the reasons I do like this ability to look at these screens. Please, Lily, don't stray from this website. That makes me nervous. Okay, but we're going to click on, or I'm going to look at these. But if you look at all these together, if we look at Alexia, okay, what's your country, Alexia? Gambia. Okay, declining, stable, or growing? Yeah, definitely. What about Max? What do you got? On Kenya, definitely growing, right? Okay, what about over here, Elijah? Who you got? Poland, what do you think? Declining for sure. Emma? Japan, declining, right? Okay. What about Justice? What do we got? Fairly stable. Who you got, Justice? Denmark, yeah. Oh wait, no, that's yeah, fairly stable, right? Okay, Addison, what do you think? Latvia, yeah, it's declined. Kale, who you got? Equatorial, what? Guinea? Guinea. I'd say that is definitely increasing, but I don't know why there's like a bunch of males right there. That's weird. Aries, who you got? What's that? Hungary. What do you think? Declining. Good. Erica, who you got? Finland. What do you think? Declining, right? Baked beans. What do you got? France. That's going to be, that looks kind of stable, but like it's soon to be declining. Okay. So Morgan, who you got? Maldives. Yeah. Maldives. And both these have like tons of men in them. Okay. And I think that's mostly people that live there, okay, because this is oil-rich countries, and I think that, oh my gosh, get off that. Okay, and Trina, you've got Qatar, right? Same thing with that. Emily, oh my gosh, Emily, I could see yours. I didn't know this would happen. I thought you had to be on the school Wi-Fi.
Okay.
That is awesome. Don't look up anything inappropriate right now. Okay.
No promises.
Wait, is Jacob Cottle on here too? No.
I live
No, I'm
really close to
from
the
home.
school though, so
What's that?
I live super close to the school, so maybe that's why you can see me.
No, I don't know. That's great. Who you got?
Me?
Yeah,
Belize.
Belize. Definitely growing, right? Okay, so here's the thing that I really. Hey, Jacob, did you find one?
Costa Rica.
Okay, is yours growing?
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah, cool. And Justice, how about you, man? We've lost Justice. Okay, now here's what I want you to do. Okay, so let me go back to my population pyramid here, and we're going to talk about this on Monday. We won't talk about this now. I'm going to go back to Niger. Okay, and what I want you to do for all, don't do this yet, because I want everybody to see what's going to happen. Okay, you can advance 2 years. Okay, so what's going to happen in like 2024? Okay, all right. Now just look at mine. Just don't do it yet, because we're going to all do it together on the screen. Okay. Okay, now watch this. I'm going to keep going. Look at what happens, okay, by 2080 or 2100, okay? It's looking a lot more stable, isn't it? Okay, now I'm going to go back to securely over here, okay? And I want everyone to do the same thing that I did, plus fivers, Lily, okay, and see what happens. Okay, so just click that +5 on everyone's thing. Click. Yeah, you do it. Yeah. 2100. Okay. And what you're going to see.
Wow, it's almost a straight line from me.
They should all start to look what someone said earlier in the year, like a baby bottle. Right? Okay. Okay. They're all going to start to look to the point where things start to equal out, except that a few of you have a few males in there, right? Look at that. Okay. On this one, the males went away. All right. So we're going to talk about, you crazy. We're going to talk about why that happens, and if that's true. Okay. What do you think? Do you think this is an accurate prediction or no? Or do you think it's just bull?
I mean, it depends.
It all depends, right? Absolutely. Could it happen?
Yeah.
We'll talk about it. Okay. The rest of the time is yours. Okay. Those of you who are on the